Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here. SummerSlam is in the air. You can feel it. The buzz is real. I'm not really 100% sure if this has the feel of a WrestleMania or if it's just SummerSlam with just an extra hour and it's being held in New York City. Well, actually, it's being held in Brooklyn. But the buzz is getting real. Honestly, when it comes down to The Rock making an appearance in WWE, anytime that The Rock shows up, I know that they keep him on the active roster page on WWE.com. It is a real big deal. I mean, he is the part-timers of part-timers. The Rock only really shows up when there's a real big something going on. Last time we saw him was WrestleMania 31. You have to give him all the respect in the world for showing up to that Monday Night Raw last year that was in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center as well, coming out and surprising Rusev and Lana. And actually getting to the point where we didn't get to see a rock bottom, but getting as physical as he can get without actually wrestling a real wrestling match. These days, The Rock has a lot of things on his plan. You know that his show is on HBO, Ballers. It's doing really well. I hear a lot of positive things. Honestly, I have not watched an episode yet. I'm sure it's going to be something like Entourage, where I just sit down and I just bust out a whole season in one day and really feel that like I really didn't do anything at all that day. And it's going to be a good feeling. I think that's how I'm pretty much going to end up watching that show. News just came out the other day about The Rock and Zac Efron are going to be starring in a movie. It's going to be a relaunch of Baywatch. The Rock's always got something going on, but the one thing that you cannot take away from The Rock, and it's something that I did not give him, and I did not, give him enough respect for, is that The Rock loves wrestling. I think The Rock really honestly knows that he would not be in the place that he would be today if it wasn't for wrestling. Everybody's seen the documentary. Everybody's seen the stories about The Rock, growing up in Hawaii. If you watch the WWE Network on the live feed a lot, they love to put the splice in there about The Rock, talking about, living with his mom in Hawaii and coming home, and there was an eviction notice and there was a lock on the door and they couldn't get in there, and his mom was crying, and The Rock basically said, I am going to do everything in my power to make sure that this never happens again. I don't think The Rock easily could have just gone right into being a movie star. He needed the things in his life to happen for him. He had to start playing football for Miami. He had to go, go to the CFL for those years, basically, living in a hotel room with 6 guys and, just barely struggling. I think that's where he gets the humility that he has in his life. If you're a fan of The Rock, if you follow him on Twitter, if you follow his Instagram, and he's always got these stories about stopping for fans and knowing that without those fans, he would not be where he is today. Him starting to learn how to wrestle, Pat Patterson taking him under his wing and making sure that he was signed in WWE, and then just going as far as he could in WWE before leaving wrestling, and busting his ass in Hollywood, become easily one of the biggest stars, one of the biggest people in movies that there is going today. This guy makes money when movies come out because people know that they're going to be good. One of the big movies that I was really hyped for this summer was San Andreas. I didn't get a chance to go see it, but I am awaiting the day that I do get to see it because I know that's going to be a good movie. Basically, you can't knock The Rock for not giving back to wrestling. I know that Vince more than likely, bends over backwards and gives this guy a good-looking check for showing up to work when he does, but easily, when you look at what happened at WrestleMania 31 with The Rock hosting, Saturday Night Live, jumping on a jet, flying cross-country, and showing up to WrestleMania 31 the early morning of Sunday, and doing what needed to be done on the show with Ronda Rousey. I don't know what The Rock's schedule is for the night that SummerSlam is or the night before, but I don't care if this guy's in Tokyo, Japan the night before. if he wants to be at SummerSlam, he's going to be at SummerSlam, and that's what it comes down to. Lots of big talk about The Rock being one of the major players for WrestleMania 32, playing off of the Ronda Rousey appearance. I know that Dana White has said that what Ronda Rousey did at WrestleMania 31 was a one-night thing, and she will not be doing it again because as of right now, she is a contracted wrestler for, I believe, 2 more fights in UFC, and that contract isn't going to be ending before WrestleMania 32, so Dana might be the deciding factor if Rousey is a part of WrestleMania 32 or not. But you know, The Rock has been building up a storyline with Triple H on SmackDown and on Monday Night Raw for well over a year now over who the bigger superstar is. Lots of people thought that maybe this would play into a Vince McMahon versus Triple H, who's in charge angle. Sometimes it looks like they're just going to go out there and fight the fight because they're big-time rivals. You know, if you think about the Attitude Era, the biggest stars that were out there were The Undertaker, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Triple H. We don't know if we're going to be getting The Undertaker. Stone Cold Steve Austin has already said he's not going to be able to do it. And that leaves Rock and Triple H as, you know, the, what was that match called? The End of an Era. You'll never see guys from the Attitude Era go at it again one-on-one. Well, when they did WrestleMania 28, Cena versus The Rock, it was supposed to be once in a lifetime, and we got that the next year at WrestleMania 29. But as of right now, where all the rumors are starting from is basically Roman Reigns was doing a podcast today, and on that podcast, he was asked whether if The Rock would be appearing at SummerSlam in order to you know, sort of hype the show and make it have that WrestleMania feel. Roman Reigns basically tipped the bag a little bit. Instead of just saying that he wasn't planning to be there, he said, "I really want to tell you the answer, but then it wouldn't be a surprise." I don't know if somebody would say that if he wasn't going to be there, because that brings a little element of, you know, anticipation that he is going to be there. And then at the end of the show, if he doesn't show up, that's a big major letdown. Some people might think that it was a bad show because they thought The Rock was going to be there. Like I said, this guy's one of the biggest movie stars of all time. You know, he's got a schedule, and when it comes to making movies, they cost a lot of money. And if The Rock's not there, lots of people don't get to work that day. So I understand if he's not there, but as of right now, I got a pretty good feeling that The Rock's going to be there. You know, Triple H, Vince really trying to make SummerSlam weekend into WrestleMania weekend, moving it to New Jersey. Moving it to Brooklyn in New York, putting it in the Barclays Center, having the NXT show there the night before. I don't know, man. I'm excited. You know, SummerSlam was in LA for a long time, and it had a really great feel to it. But as of right now, I've got mixed feelings about it. Like, sometimes I think about it, and I'm like, man, this is going to be a good show. This is going to be a really good show. And then sometimes I look at it, and I'm like, if it wasn't for Cena and Rollins, which is a match that I sort of don't really care about all that much, and it wasn't for Taker versus Lesnar, I don't know what it would be like. You know, it doesn't really have... It's got WrestleMania feel because everything that's going on that weekend with Warrior Day, with the softball game, with NXT, it makes it have a really big feel of everything that is going on. But it doesn't really feel like WrestleMania. I mean, when you looked at WrestleMania 31, there was lots of people who didn't go this year because they looked at the card that was out there and said that the show didn't look that good. And then once it was done, it was one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. So sometimes they just surprise you, and it is what it is. But The Rock showing up, I think, is a big one. And I think it could really give WWE a kick in the pants.